Now we can look at the ginseng. So these are American ginseng dying down. They turn a rather unique shade of gold as they die down. That's one of the times of year when you can hunt for ginseng with some hope of finding it. The other, of course, is when the fruit is on there, the bright red berries. So let's see what this one looks like. As you can see, lots more of the crinkle root here, starting to make a carpet. There's one or two last berries of ginseng. This is a nice, fairly mature specimen. Big leaves. So ginseng is an expensive herb for a number of reasons. The price is going to go up to $800 a pound this year, and that's the amount that the person who goes in the woods and collects it can get for it. Then it gets resold and resold and resold. God only knows what it costs by the time it gets to China. Ginseng is endangered, and with a price like $800 a pound, it's going to be a lot more than endangered. It's going to kind of disappear. One reason it's expensive is it's very slow growing. People say that it doesn't reach its full medicinal potency until it's at least 7 years old. It doesn't like transplanting very much, sort of resents disturbance. The seeds take 2 years to germinate. So if I plant these seeds, they won't come up next spring, they'll come up the spring after. They need to go through a winter, then a summer, then another winter. That's another reason why it's expensive. And then we looked at both the crinkle root and the golden seal, and I said we could cut them into pieces and you'd get new plants. That's not true of ginseng. So there's the bud for next year. What is true is that, and this is called the neck of the plant. Okay, so you see all these little grooves. Every one of those represents 1 year of growth. So here's the bud. That's how much it got bigger this year. That was last year. 2 years ago, the leaf came off right there. Last year, the leaf came off right there. This year, the leaf came off right here. Next year, so every time it's going up a little bit, you can actually count how old the plant is by counting these little rings. And this one actually started way back here. It grew, whatever, 8 or 9 years, and then it put out this little root, kept on growing. This is probably 15, 16 years old. So if you get to the point where you have the bud and you have some roots, what I could do is sever this right here and replant that neck with those roots, and it'll make a new plant. And then I could harvest this much of it. Or I could sever it right here and replant it with this included. Usually they have to be 5 or 6 years old before you can do this, because they won't, a younger plant will not have any roots up here. It'll just have the main root and the neck and the stem. So I like to harvest plants that are 10 or 15 years old, and then I can replant the neck and not kill the plant. But I can't multiply it. I'm just going to still have one plant, right? I can't chop it into a bunch of pieces. I couldn't plant this. If I just planted that, nothing would happen. It doesn't have any bud on it. Right? Unfortunately, this is illegal. In order to market, if you want to market ginseng, you have to leave the neck on so that the buyer can count how old it is. The way the government is trying to protect ginseng is to say that you can only market ginseng that's, I forget what, 3 years old or 4 or 5, and the only way you can verify that is by the neck. So unfortunately, the best way to preserve the ginseng is not legal if you are trying to grow this and market it. On the other hand, if you want to grow ginseng and eat it yourself or make value-added products or whatever, then it doesn't matter, which is what I do. So I could harvest this and replant that, which I suppose now that I dug it up, I should do that. Yeah, we'll just do that. As I say, it kind of resents disturbance. I could replant this whole thing, and I didn't really break any roots, and it might survive all right, but I wouldn't be very happy. So what we're going to do is just cut it right there. I'll cut it again right here, and we will replant. Just tuck it right down in there, and it can be pretty deep. If that bud was 6 inches deep, it wouldn't be any problem. It would come right up. So there we go. Oops. There it is. Don't want to lose those. Then we can take these fruits and replant those. Each fruit will have either 1 or 2 seeds, and the amount of fruits that it makes depends on how strong the plant is. We'll make a ball like that, but it'll only set. Young plants will just set 1 or 2 fruits. As they get older, the head of fruits will get bigger and bigger. What I like to do with them is eat them. And then plant the seeds. They've actually found some compounds in the fruit that are not in any other part of the plant that are being investigated for diabetes and obesity and things like that. A wonderful plant. Everyone should grow it.